Truth is absolute.
Heart.
Exhilarating hearts.
America.
Reawakening America.
Good day, U.S. of A. We're here to affirm truth is absolute, tell stories that accelerate the heart, and reawaken the good people of America. This is Comer and Way.
Well, hey, America, welcome back, and welcome back, Tim.
Hey, good to be here, Dave. Man, I'm sure excited about today's show.
Me too, because today we're talking about one of my new favorite things to do. Can you guess what it is?
Well, given the timed nature of where we're at, could it be something along voting, maybe?
Yeah, weird that you'd say it's one of my favorite things to do, but, you know, since I've learned about history and the founding, and I've been researching and studying, and I was really excited when the ballot came.
Yeah.
I was waiting for it, because I now know that it's by the people for the people.
Yeah.
And since I'm one of those people, it's an honor and a privilege and a duty for me to put my opinion out there.
Exactly, and this is what we're going to talk about today is what voting really is.
Yep. What is voting?
Well, you know, Dave, so many people just go out there and they think it's just checking a name off a list, and they really don't understand why we vote and what it is that we're actually doing.
True.
You're actually giving your identity, the power of your individuality, to someone to speak for you.
Yeah, because really you are, in a constitutional republic, electing a representative of your opinion.
Right. Most people think we're a democracy.
Wrong.
That is totally wrong.
Yep, that's true.
The reason why we are a constitutional republic is because we are supposed to vote for people who uphold the Constitution. The Constitution is our major foundation. What does it really mean when you give your vote?
What does it mean? It means that I'm putting my values and my trust in an individual.
Yes.
And I would have to find someone that has as close to those values as possible.
Mm-hmm. You invoke your power into another individual to go out and represent your views and your heart. So many people, they do not understand that as a free citizen, we now have a duty.
Yeah.
We have a duty to participate in this system.
Yes.
Because others have given the ultimate sacrifice for you to do this. So if you don't participate, basically you're spitting on the graves of those people who went before you and fought that you could keep a freedom to make your voice heard.
It totally devalues their sacrifice.
That's exactly right.
And the sacrifice their families had to live with the rest of their lives and their children.
And so the best way to honor them is to simply vote.
Yep. And I also believe that God holds us accountable for the direction of the nation.
That really leads into what one of the major problem is that no one has a clue as to who they are in our republic. God has established a hierarchy.
Yeah.
He's the one who gave the authority to us.
Yep.
What we do is every time we vote, we give our power on loan to these individuals.
Correct.
Most don't recognize that they have a place in this chain of authority, and that as such, that each one of us is a sovereign individual, and we've made up sovereign states. We've sent a representative of our sovereign nation.
That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah. When you don't vote, you break the chain.
Yeah.
And so what you do is you automatically give power to tyranny.
Yeah, because you make the system that was put in place, given by inspiration of God.
Exactly.
And you break the system.
Most people don't know that hierarchy. God gave an individual man authority. And then that authority was used to govern his family.
Yep.
Then the family gave their authority to their community. And then that was given to a government body. The government is at the bottom of that totem pole. Government is the bottom of the authority chain. Most people think that the government gives us our rights and our privileges.
People depend on the government to fix everything.
Right.
And
the founders knew that we needed to have a system that protected our individual rights and privileges. Because we were the sovereign. We're the ones who make this country work,
Right.
not the government.
Yep.
good and evil always use men and women to do the works. Everything that you see that's good in the world and everything you see that's bad in this world is wrought through a human being.
Yeah.
God has chosen, he's basically handcuffed himself to work through people.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
He wants a cooperation through us to go out and do his will, basically to love our neighbor.
Mm-hmm.
Evil does the same thing. No amount of laws and legislations or policies or regulations are going to change the behavior of a person who's given their heart over to evil.
Right.
They're going to commit an act that's going to harm others.
We might as well just make a law now that says no murder. Oh, wait a minute.
I think we
have that.
I think we already have that.
Oh, yeah. No drugs. No. Oh, wait.
Oh, yeah.
Wait,
Dang.
dang it. Oh.
See, it just goes to show you
Yeah.
people are going to do what they're going to do.
Yeah.
God had said in his word, he says, as a man thinketh in his heart, so is he.
Yep.
So if he is pondering an evil act, he is going to commit that despite whatever laws are in place.
Yep.
Our word is our power because God's word was given to us. He says that power of life and death is in the tongue. So we shape the way we live by the way we speak.
Yeah, that's really good.
What's happened is you seeing today that how good is being called bad and bad is being called good. All these words are having new definitions and are being twisted in the minds of people. Your word is basically a vote. Your vote is your word, and you're giving that to somebody else.
That's good. That's really good.
And conditions need to be placed upon that power. The majority of this country, they're just worried about survival. The conditions of our livelihood are at stake. And so most people, they just reined everything in just to take care of their own family, and they've disengaged from the rest of the country.
Yep.
But what that has done is it's fostered unaccountability.
I think a lot of that's been by design.
It is.
If you don't have a prospered people,
Yep.
you can really control them. And if a lot of industry has been suppressed intentionally, I think the apathy that has come in is enforced by conditions in poverty.
Yes.
In like the inner cities and stuff.
Yes.
And it's by design.
Right.
To take power.
And I think apathy has been reinforced with the notion that we're just one person.
Yeah.
Our vote doesn't matter.
Yeah.
How can one person change all of this?
Yeah.
That whole thing is that I don't care anymore.
Yeah.
I can't afford to care because I've got my family to take care of.
Yeah.
I can't be engaged because I don't have the means to change anything.
Yeah. And if you have 1 million people with that same thinking, there's the change you need.
But the consequence of that, Dave, is that unchecked power goes corrupt.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Absolute power corrupts absolutely. Because we've been disengaged. That power is running its course. It is destroying the very fiber of our country.
The more we allow evil out, the further it'll go every time.
Exactly.
And now we've allowed this to happen so long and have not reined in corruption that it's so deep, it's in every aspect and fiber of government.
Right. You look in history, there's so many examples of people being repressed. Tyranny has always been the rule for most of the history of every other nation on the earth. The Pilgrims and the people who came over from England, they were forced to leave because they could not worship God.
Yep, religious persecution.
Voting wasn't such a big deal. If it didn't matter, why has there always been oppression against it? You look at some of our own history. Here's a couple of stories. One is about a Reverend George Lee. He was in Mississippi. He was assassinated because he kept preaching from the pulpit for free black men and women to go out and vote.
Yeah.
You look at all the illegals. All these people are letting these people to come in and sway the vote. During presidential elections and all these others. Why is all this money spent to earn your vote?
Yep.
People, it's about power.
They need your power.
They want the power. The more power that you give them is through your vote. And the more that they can sustain a base that will always vote for them, that means they're in continual power. That should say something.
Yeah, and if they're in continual power, like you mentioned, that power will eventually corrupt you. And we know what happens when power goes corrupt.
Every other society has fallen because of that.
Yeah. And think of the multi-millions who have suffered and died under that tyranny.
Yeah. Look at our own Constitution. Look at all the amendments that talk about voting. You're talking 7 different amendments, the 12th, the 15th, the 17th, the 19th, the 23rd and 24th, 26th Amendment are all about voting.
It's important.
Yeah, I think they were kind of saying something
Yeah.
here,
Be engaged.
There is something to this.
Yeah. By the people, of the people, for the people. It's supposed to be us.
It is.
It's really not supposed to be career politicians. It should be your local neighbors and friends and people going and serving their country and then coming back to their jobs and living their life.
We are the ones who make this country work.
Yeah.
And basically, the government was designed to protect this nation, this body of people, to allow them to be free to produce,
Yep.
to enjoy the fruits of our labor, to engage in helping our fellow man.
True.
The results of apathy, when
Uh-huh.
people don't care, it equates to the same thing of what Adam did in the Garden of Eden.
Yeah.
He disobeyed God's word, and when he did that, he gave the authority, he gave his power to Satan.
Yeah.
And what God had to do is he had to sacrifice himself to get that authority back, and then he ended up giving it to us again.
Yeah. God told Adam to tend the garden.
Mm-hmm.
And we need to tend to the garden of our country.
Exactly.
It's a responsibility given by God.
Exactly. We are stewards.
Yeah.
This whole concept of America was God's idea.
Yep.
He birthed it. He's the one who inspired all the people. You look at the Declaration, people just don't talk like that anymore. We pledge to each other our lives, our fortunes, our sacred honor.
People don't even pledge that stuff to their families
Exactly.
nowadays.
Dave, are we going to be the generation that lets this country fall?
I'm not.
Mm-mm. No, I'm going to do my part.
We're not. Who's out
Exactly.
there with us that wants to be a part of a movement
Exactly.
and stand up for what's true? We want to hear from you.
I can't stress enough that if we remain disengaged, we automatically give power to the people who are perpetrating all this chaos. The depravity of our nation is due to our disengagement.
Yeah, if we're tired of politics, we're just empowering what we're tired of.
Yeah.
So we got to get involved.
I've said it 100 times to you, Dave, and I'm going to say it probably 100 times more. But it says, for evil to prevail, all it takes is enough good people to do nothing.
Do nothing.
There's another myth out there that our system is broken. Because we see all the chaos, we see all the depravity and everything going on, that you hear this whole notion that we need to have a new system.
Mm-hmm.
That's a myth. That's a lie.
Mm-hmm.
The reason why it seems like it's broken is because there's a missing element. What is that missing element? Do you know, Dave?
Right off the top of my head, I don't.
It's us. It's the
The
people.
people. Yeah.
It's
the
the
people aren't
people.
involved is what you're saying.
Exactly.
Oh, yeah. I knew that. The
I know
people
you
aren't
did.
involved.
I know you did.
I was just testing you.
Oh,
to
okay.
See if you knew.
I mean, in the last presidential election, we had 55% of the eligible voters vote,
Wow.
which means there's a lot more of us out there.
Yeah, there is.
We can make a good and lasting change. We can have a re-revolution with our ballots,
Yeah.
not bullets.
Yeah, for sure.
We had one American Revolution. We don't need another.
No, we
one.
don't.
Bullets do nothing except for kill.
Yeah.
And as I said, there comes a time where it has to be, but you know what? We aren't at that point yet.
Yeah, for sure.
We can do this through ballots.
Yeah.
And Dave, it's simply being an example to your friends, your family, your community, to talk with them, to not be afraid, to, say, hey, you know what? The whole reason why we're in the mess we're in is because we've pulled out.
Yeah.
Not anymore.
Yep.
It starts now.
Yep.
And I'm doing more to tell people, hey,
Yeah.
we need to stay engaged.
We do. We have to. This is an important time. I believe that if the Christians got together, we could landslide these elections. And
It's like many hands make light work.
Yeah.
It's like if we all join together in unity, find common ground, man, we can turn this around, dude.
we can bring some prosperity back to this country. And again, not just for ourselves. We're the world's last greatest hope.
Mhm.
We got to remember them,
Yeah.
We
have to be strong.
Yeah.
It's like Reagan said, peace through strength.
Yep. Absolutely.
We have to be a strong nation ourselves to help anybody else.
You tend to your household,
Mm-hmm.
you'll be stronger and be able to do more.
Yeah.
So for a period, you really got to tend to your nation.
Yeah.
And then once it's stronger again, then we can look out and maybe
Yeah.
have the wealth to spread around and help the
Yeah.
people that need some.
We need to get the truth back out there. We need to wake this sleeping giant.
Yeah, we've been lax too long. We've been frustrated too long. It's time to get in the fight and get off the bench.
I think people are afraid to fight because they feel they have no power.
Yeah.
And that comes from recognizing who you are.
Yeah.
And that starts within the heart.
Yeah.
You've got to recognize, that you are a created being. and that you serve a creator, and that you have a power of individuality and sovereignty that has been placed within you.
Yeah. I believe that when you stand up for truth, God has your back.
Yeah.
And it doesn't mean there's no persecutions here and
Right.
there, but you will have the power and strength to get through it.
Exactly. And you count, America.
Yeah.
Each and every one of you that are listening, you count. I mean,
Oh,
I always
yeah.
like this analogy of a penny doubled a day for 30 days. You know, after 20 days, it's not much,
Yeah.
you know, but once you start getting into the last few days of the month, that becomes millions.
Yep. Yep.
You may not feel that you have any power, but you be the example to a friend. You be
Yep.
encouragement to a neighbor. You encourage those people in your world, and then they encourage those people in their world. And after a little while, man, we have
We can make a huge difference.
exactly. We have exponential encouragement.
Yeah. And it's easier now than ever to learn to vote, you know?
Oh yeah, we got everything at our fingertips.
Everything is on the internet, your cell phone. I mean, there's apps out there. They mail you a voter guide,
Yeah.
and then there's things like ivoterguide.com that you can go to, and it's super easy, just a few clicks, and you've got all the information at your fingertips. Super easy.
What an age we live in.
Yeah,
I mean, we got the world's library at your fingertips.
we do.
So you really don't have an excuse to not get yourself informed.
Nope. And don't be lazy. We can't be lazy.
That is the whole problem, is we've been asleep for too long.
Yep. It's time to stand up and take our country back,
Yep.
and we do it through voting.
And America, we love you here. You know what? We're part of you, and you're part of us. And you know what? This is the whole reason why we're doing this,
Yep.
because we're doing what we can, and we're wanting to inspire you to go out and do what you can.
Yeah, we want to preserve this great nation that we have. Well, America, I hope you enjoyed this. And remember, God's on your side and God's got your back.
Thanks for listening.